All right, we're going to try and solve a puzzle tournament style. So we're going to do this exactly how you do it in an actual tournament game. That means, for me, no cheating, no board behind the camera that you can't see because that doesn't help you get good. It helps a little bit actually, but this is the thing. This is the test you give yourself. You're trying to do this as you would do this in an actual tournament, which means you don't play the move until you're ready to play the move and live with the consequences, plus or minus. So now I'm going to tell you things. The words I'm going to speak are generally simulating how I think about this when I'm playing in a tournament. So I'm looking at this position, white to move, and we notice that his queen is attacking our queen, and our queen's undefended, so it's queen takes queen is a free queen for black if we don't take care of business. So, got to figure out what's up with this dude. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, and then what? I don't know. But we have to look at things, that catch our eye. So, the queen being under attack, we could do stuff like queen takes g5 is not bad, maybe. But actually, black is threatening to checkmate us. Rook h1 is checkmate. So this simplifies matters for us relatively quickly. Anytime we don't check this guy, we're mated. So that's the number one thing that I see right here. Can't take g5. Can't move my knight. I can play queen takes queen check. Then he has two possibilities: king takes or rook takes. So let's look at that and see. Queen takes queen, king takes queen. I don't know, not really doing anything special there, are we? So queen takes queen doesn't look very strong. Okay, technically we do have one other move that's... There are two other moves that are stupid. Knight h4 is dumb, he just takes it. And queen to h5 is also equally stupid because he would just play rook takes. So you're dropping your queen for a rook, or you're giving away a free knight. So we've looked at those and discarded those as ridiculous moves that we're not playing. So that's cool. So queen takes queen doesn't look too promising. The only thing we have left to check him with is queen g8, which is a free queen. No thanks. And queen g7 check. So let's look at that one. Queen g7 check. Queen takes g7 is forced because it's checkmate if he doesn't take it. So queen takes, f takes g7 check, and he's dusted. You see that? So this is why I wanted to do this kind of position and show you the sequence mentally of how an actual tournament player goes through this sequence. All right, so we looked at all the garbage moves, which were like not checking him. We're checkmated. Second level is like knight to h4 is a free knight, no good. Queen to h5, rook takes h5, and we lost a queen for rook. That's no good. Queen takes queen is the level like fourth one, and he would just play king takes, and we really can't do anything because our knight can't move. It would be chopped off, or we goes to e1, which is whoop-de-doo, no good. So queen takes queen is not very good. By process of elimination, queen to g7 is a freaking winner. So queen to g7 check, queen takes is forced. F takes g7 check, and now it doesn't matter what he does. He really has to take the pawn with his king, otherwise it's g takes f8 equals a queen check. Well, that would be ridiculous. So f takes g7 check, king takes g7, and rook takes f8. And we have won a whole rook for nothing. That's winning. So let's look at this sequence. I'm counting this on my fingers. Number 1, QG7 check. Queen takes G7. Number 2, F takes G7 check. King takes G7. Number 3, Rook takes F8. And he doesn't have Jack. I'm convinced already right now that this is just absolutely winning. So, take a look yourself, pause the video. Okay, so obviously you've unpaused the video and you've come back and you've made your decision. My decision is queen to G7 check is the winner. Let's see. Bingo. Goodbye, Charlie. And we go rook takes F8. All right, solution. Good job. All right, that's how you do it in a tournament game. This is exactly how you have to go through. You have to look at all this stuff, and you need to be able to visualize to some degree how this was looking, which I saw this position. I've been playing chess for a very long time. My dad taught me when I was 6 years old, and that was way back in the times of 1968. So, yeah, I'm old. So I've been playing chess for over 50 years. So, and I played a lot of tournaments. And I mean a lot of tournaments. But I'll tell you that stuff later. But this is what you have to do. You have to get to where you visualize the end of the line. We took, F takes G7 check. His king had to take it. Rook takes rook. And then I was looking that there was nothing else. There's no other checks for him or surprise moves like some kind of a fork. That's one of the mistakes that happens to people. It's one of the most common chess mistakes is you look at a sequence of events like we did here and you stop this is what I call it. You stop one move too soon. So you run through a sequence and, oh yes, I'm winning. And then you get there and there's a surprise move that you missed. And that's the one that really, just like sticks a knife in you and twists it. It's like, oh, idiot. You stopped one move too soon. Now, sometimes you'll stop one move too soon and it'll be a mistake that punishes you after the fact. Another time, the same mistake happens when you're looking like we were looking at this position, and then you stop one move too soon in your mind, not realizing you stop one move too soon to realize you're winning. So sometimes you stop one move too soon to realize it doesn't work, or you stop one move too soon realizing or not realizing it does work. And so you don't make that sequence because you didn't get there and go, oh, dude, there's the move I missed. So stopping one move too soon in your analysis can bite you either to prevent you from making a winning move or from playing a move that you thought was winning but actually isn't. So that's kind of what I was looking at, and everything worked out fine. This one is not very difficult. So this was a good selection to look at just to see what was going on. So, I'm just using this example to help teach you the lesson of stopping your analysis one move too soon, because this happens a lot and it's a constant mistake that all players make, including grandmasters. So knowing that this mistake is a very common mistake and one of the most common mistakes you'll see, because it affects even the top-notch players. So we want to try and we're trying to reduce these mistakes. This is the mistake or type of mistake that's not stoppable. You can't stop it. But you can reduce it by being thorough and, training yourself properly. And that's why I was looking at all those moves and, going through it. And it's like, okay, I figured this out. Let's go back again from the beginning and, redo it and redo it. Now, I mean, you don't want to sit there for a half an hour doing this because that's ridiculous. So you got to learn to have confidence in yourself. It's like in the early days, you're going to make mistakes. Well, yeah, so what? You're going to use those mistakes are actually going to help you. So don't be afraid to make a mistake. The only thing, the biggest mistake you can make is to be afraid to make a mistake. Because you're going to make a mistake. It doesn't matter. You're playing chess. Guess what? You're already making mistakes. Doesn't matter. So everyone, and I'm telling you, I know good players, man. Everyone makes mistakes. But we learn from those mistakes. And that's what makes us stronger. So that's why you watch players. When you're at a tournament, you watch good players play. Because you'll see them, and you'll see one guy wins a game, and two really good players. When you have two masters playing, there's a master who's going to lose. And those guys are really good. So, don't beat yourself up. Look at what you look at, see what you see, and then, hey, see if you're right. Because if you're wrong, make the guy show you that you made a mistake, and when they do that, now he's going to win the game when you're wrong and you make a mistake, but make sure you learn why you lost, because that's the second best thing you can get from that, is to learn why you made a mistake, so that hopefully you'll learn to not make it again. So hopefully this helped you out a lot, and you guys know the drill. I'll see you later. Thanks a lot.